using a tower garden, and that includes lights and for optimal nutrition and self-sustainability. So welcome, Juanita. Take it away.
Hi, everyone. Is that good there? Or can I hold it?
Yeah, you can hold it.
Yes, you can.
Hi everyone, my name is Juanita Miller. I'm a holistic nutritionist and I have a company called Joyfully Nourished, where I help people with nutrition and gardening and all things health. Today we're going to be talking on easy, sustainable winter gardening. So we're going to learn how to garden year-round using a tower garden and a grow lights, which is aeroponics, for optimal nutrition and self-sustainability. So the first thing I just wanted to kind of address is what kind of challenges do we face when we try to grow or garden in the winter? Can you garden in the winter outdoors? Like, what is our biggest challenge?
Frost.
The frost, the cold, the snow. It makes it pretty difficult for us to be able to grow, and so it almost makes it non-existent. There are a couple options for growing in the winter. We could have a greenhouse. So there was someone here on Friday, and they had, what is their names? Do you know? Greenhouse in the snow. They have an amazing greenhouse system. They're out of Armstrong, I believe, and you can grow in them. There's a higher price tag to it, but it is an option. It's something that you can do. You could also use a mason jar, and you could do sprouts, have seeds with some water, but you're limited to the amount that you're going to be able to produce and the variety of what you're able to produce in that. You can do microgreen trays. Again, it's limited to space and that kind of thing, but it is an option so that you can get more greens. Overwintering crops, so if you grew carrots or beets, that kind of thing, you can have them underneath in the soil, but again, you're limited. You can't keep planting more. It's only what you've been able to plant during the summer. So if we want to look at how can we get fresh lettuce and spinach and kale and herbs and bok choy and all these kind of greens, how do we get them fresh? And really, we've had mostly options of just buying it from the store, but there's problems that come with that. How long has it traveled for? A lot of the produce that we get is anywhere from 2 weeks to 6 weeks old by the time we get it. We remember the cost of lettuce last winter. They were like between $5 and $10, depending on the type of lettuce you bought, and it didn't always look very good. And so, yeah, limitations with that. So we know that it's important to eat fruits and vegetables in the winter, but how do we get that? So when you grow in something like a vertical garden, you can grow a lot more in a small amount of space, and it's something that you can grow in your own home that you don't even have to go to the grocery store for. The plants can grow up to 3 times faster. They're so close to their light source and the minerals that they get, so yeah, they grow very fast. The yield is often 30% higher than traditional gardening. You only need 3 square feet of space to grow in. It's clean, it's sustainable, so we can remember also that there was E. coli problems with the lettuce last year. You don't get that because there is no soil in a vertical aeroponic garden. And to talk a little bit about what is aeroponics, there's hydroponics, aeroponics, and aquaponics, and I didn't know the difference for quite a while, so I'll briefly tell you. Hydroponics is when your plants and the roots are completely submerged in water. Aquaponics is when you add the fish to it, and then the fish help with the fertilization and eating the stuff in the water. Aeroponics, which is what these towers are, is completely in the air. The roots are suspended in the air all the time, and then throughout the day there's water and minerals trickled onto the roots. And the benefit of the aeroponics is you can get the vertical heights, so you grow more plants, but also the roots are able to grow bigger, and bigger roots and healthier, stronger roots equal healthier and bigger plants as well. So that's where the higher yield comes. And when we grow in these with that little amount of water, it uses less than 2% of water that's required for other types of gardening. So we also think about if you want to look at this outside of winter for summer. I remember the watering restrictions we had a couple weeks ago, and we couldn't water our gardens, and that was scary to not be in control of our own food, for that we've been growing all summer in our gardens. So this is something that helps us be in control. It tastes amazing. A lot of people think that, oh, it's grown in there, it's not gonna taste as good. But if you want, come up afterwards and come taste it, and you'll see it tastes just like amazing produce from the market. It's very nutrient dense, and yeah, you're in control of your own food security. And there's tons of educational resources to get you started with it. So what I want to do is I want to do a demo, and I need 2 volunteers. I need someone who's willing to be my grocery shopper, and I need someone who's good with numbers. You can use your cell phone, that's okay. So 2 volunteers. Okay, come on up. Which one do you want to be, the shopper? You be the shopper?
I'll be the shopper.
Okay, we need someone who's good with numbers.
I'll do the numbers.
Okay.
I used to be really good with numbers, but I'm not saying that anymore.
We're gonna turn the lights off just so it's not so bright while we're standing next to it. Okay. So, come on up on the stage. This is your bag, and then these are, you can put the clippings and stuff.
Okay.
And so scissors, if we need that. I might roll some for it. Okay, so this needs to be really interactive, and I need your help because probably most of you shop at the grocery store and you shop at the market and you know what you're spending on produce. So we're going to start taking produce off of here, and we're going to see what kind of value of produce we can get off of here and what you would harvest for yourself in a week. So yeah, I'm going to put the mic down. I'm going to shout if that's okay. Okay, so right here. Okay, so this is some bok choy, and remember all of this is chemical free, so it's going to be like considerable to what you're going to get at a farmer's market where they're growing organic produce. So for this bundle, what would you guys pay for this? It might not be as big as what you're grabbing from the market, but what would you pay? I said bok choy. I meant Swiss chard. This is Swiss chard, a white Swiss chard. Would you pay like $4 at least?
Probably.
Okay, so $4, let's say, for this, and we can undercut ourselves here. That's fine. Okay, this is basil, a beautiful stem of basil, and we still got basil still on there. So I don't know, what's that worth? Like a bag of basil herbs? $6. $6?
Yeah, I would say
Okay, let's put $6 down.
probably 2 bundles. If you buy it at the store.
Yeah.
Let's get this.
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
Okay, what about this? I'll let you hold it. What about this bundle of parsley? Is that like $4? I don't know what stuff actually costs.
$2.99 or something like that, probably.
$3? Okay, $3.
Oh, yes. Smells so good.
Yeah, you guys should smell this. Okay, this is spearmint, one of the mint families. It smells like spearmint gum. It's amazing. $5?
It's a little cheaper, I think.
Okay, we're pulling off bok choy leaves over here.
I didn't even look at that.
Okay. This is a bag of baby bok choy leaves. $7. Okay.
We'll do some lettuce. Should we do some lettuce?
Sure. This is a lettuce head here. So how about you harvest one on that side and I'll harvest this one. And what we do, leave the center, because the center will continue to grow and it'll grow over the next 4 months. You'll continue to have plants for. So just pull the back leaves off when you're harvesting. of beautiful salad greens.
Well, if you buy it already washed like it is.
Yeah, it's already
over-
washed.
it's
Don't need to
over
wash this.
$5.
Let's just put 5 even. How much are we at so far?
It's probably $6.
$25.
$25, okay. Kale.
So kale.
Yeah. Yeah, just strip them off. Don't cut the kale off, just keep stripping leaves off of it. While she's picking kale, I'm gonna pick some little baby peppers. Okay, there's not a lot of little baby peppers here, but these are some specialty baby bell peppers that only grow an inch or two big. I know, like $2.
And it's probably got, I don't know, quarter of a pound maybe of kale.
How much for the kale? I love kale, guys. Yeah, it depends if it's organic or not, right?
Yeah.
It kind of falls somewhere between $3 to $5. So $4?
$4.
Okay.
I think we've run out of bags here.
This type of lettuce here is called a tiny tom lettuce. It's meant to be eaten when it reaches the size of a golf ball, or sorry, not a golf ball, a tennis ball. So it's one of the ones where you do harvest the whole head. So those live lettuces that you see, they're like,
Oh, those-
I don't know.
yeah, the butter
So I don't know,
lettuces.
at least $3.
For that size, yeah.
Yeah, because they're little babies. They're
$3.99,
specialty
something
things.
like that.
I just grew it because I thought it was cute.
100 grams of the mini peppers are $6.49.
I don't know what that works out to, but it's more than I don't know. You can leave $2.
I'm bumping it.
Okay, so are we at $30 yet?
Oh, we're past that.
Okay, we're gonna have you add that up. Thank you for helping
very
me.
welcome.
You can go sit down. Everyone clap. Thank you. Okay, so that was $36 that came to. And I'm gonna turn the tower so you guys can see how much produce is still left on it for next week. So we've still got spinach on there. We've got lots more kale. We've got more salads. Like, this is a coastal star. This is a coastal star romaine. So we didn't even pick any romaine for our basket. We've got a gourmet lettuce on there on the other side. We've got spinach, other types of herbs. There's rosemary, there's lavender, there's chives. There's all sorts of things on there. So the point that I was trying to get across with the demonstration is that I can pull off of at least $30 worth of produce every single week. And as long as we leave those center hearts, like I said, they'll keep growing for another 4 months. So if we can pull off at least $30 worth of produce every week, that's $120 a month. And the payment on having one of these is $120.05 a month. So what I'd like to show is that this is something that is a really affordable option. Your first year, you're breaking even. And then after that, you're growing food for yourself for the cost of a little bit of electricity and a little bit of minerals. And so it's definitely something to help with self-sustainability, especially during those winter months. There's also an opportunity, there's something you can apply for and get a $200 rebate, which would make that even cheaper. So what I want to share is this is not limited to just your house either. This is something for farmers. So if you have a big dream that you would like to have a farm, or you are a farmer and you want to continue farming throughout the winter, this is an option. You can continue to stack them higher and have even more growing in a vertical space. And there's entire farms. They're growing these in like the deserts in the Philippines and India and everywhere. And you can definitely earn an income off of growing this and selling it on markets and selling it to restaurants and just, so more than even just your family, providing to your community. So it's a pretty cool system. So growing with the Tower Garden is an invitation to grow all year long, harvest the freshest, The most locally grown produce ever. There's nothing closer than in your own living room or in your own kitchen. It's easy and it's affordable and it gives you control of your own food. So thank you for listening, and there's always lots of questions. So yes. Most often not. If you do have a house that has humidity issues, it could contribute to it a little bit. For the average household, there's absolutely no problems with it. Yeah, but individual for each house to look at. If you do have humidity levels that are higher, just run a dehumidifier in an area nearby, and you wouldn't have any issues. Yeah.
You start it by seed, or how do you get, is
Yeah.
it by seed or?
There's two options. So when you purchase this is really nice because when you order this, everything you need comes out of the box. You don't have to run to the store. And before I answer that question, I want to say I admire everyone who's building some of these on their own. You can build these out of PVC pipes and buckets and just get a pump and run it through. I don't know how to do any of that. I needed something that was going to be really easy. I needed something, just simple for my family. I wanted it self-water, all of that kind of stuff. Everything you need comes in the box. So when you open the box, it has a tray that you start your seeds in. It has the Rockwool medium. So let's see. You see that kind of like square that it's growing out of? So that's Rockwool, and it comes in there, and you just put your seed in there, and then you cover it with vermiculite, and your plants start to grow in there. And as soon as they get their first true set of leaves, you can pop them into the tower. I think you had actually I only answered the first part of yours, and then we'll get to yours. So that is one option. You can start your own seeds. Rod, do you want to come up and say what you want to do? I'll talk for you. Yeah. Rod here, he is planning on doing starters. So if this is something that interests you and you're like overwhelmed by the idea of starting it, Rod's going to have a production going where he's got seedlings that are a couple weeks old already, and Rod is here in Salmon Arm, and you'd be able to pick them up and pop them right into your tower when they're the right age to go in. Yeah, and your question?
Yes, what is the energy cost roughly per month? And do you have to have water piped to that steady flow, or do you fill it periodically?
Those are good questions. So this light bulb is 125 watts for all four. So it's the cost of one light bulb in your house. So everyone who's gotten it says they haven't noticed any differences on their hydro bills yet. It runs for about optimally 16 hours a day. That's where you want to have it run. So it's if you left one light bulb on all day long. So somewhere between probably maybe $5-10 a month. It wouldn't be more than that. There is a pump that also runs on electrical, so that would be included in that total. The water is poured into here, and you add the minerals in there as well every time that you add the water, and then you just watch this level. This here with the water levels will go up and down. And so when it starts getting low, that's when you want to add your water in so your pump isn't exposed to the air. And then your next question, what was it? Oh, that was the second one. Yep. It does not. It's all of the above ground vegetables. Yeah. This can also be taken outside during the summer, and in the summer you can have bigger plants like squashes and pumpkins and watermelons and all those like trellisy type of things, because they grow beyond the light system, and then they won't get their the photosynthesis inside of your house. So when you have it indoors, you want the stuff that's a little closer. We have another tower on display in our booth in there, in the big arena, and it has tomatoes and peppers, and they're on a support system that you can get. So if you want those kind of crops like tomatoes and those that need the support, you'll want the cage as well.
And so after you mentioned after you trim them,
Yeah.
How long does it take to grow another batch? So is it a week or?
March to April, May, June, July.
Yeah.
We kept growing it for 4 months.
Yeah. They stay healthy for about 4 months. So like how I trimmed all of this off of this lettuce head and I left the heart here, the center, you can keep taking that off every 5 to 10 days
Okay.
And it'll keep coming back, and it stays pretty active for about 4 months, and then after that you get another month or two out of it, but it's slower. So when I start to see that it's slowing down, I usually start my seedling of the same kind so I can pop it in when this guy's totally done. And if you ever find like you're looking at it, you're like, I can't eat that many greens, the two things, we juice it. I love to juice, get all of that concentrated nutrition in the form of a liquid, so I can go through, that'll be what I'm doing. If you want to take some of this produce home with you, you're welcome, come dig in the basket. Anything that's not taken, I'll go home and I'll just juice it tonight and drink it. I love it. The other thing you can do is put it in bags and go take it to your neighbors, especially come winter. Like the stuff we're getting at the store is not as like lush and nutritious as what this is sometimes. And so there's a lot of people out there that are struggling with the cost of it and struggling with that. They need that nutrition in their body. So this is something we can bless other people in our community with. A few people I know, they have like 2 or 3 towers, and every week they drop stuff off at their like Salvation Army type places to give away.
I have a question in regard to, one thing I've noticed is whenever I bring an outdoor plant inside, to keep it growing, I get things like spider mites and those little come.
Yeah.
Do you find that with that as well?
If you take it outside for the summer, I would recommend completely cleaning it, gutting it, throwing all of those plants out, like juice them or whatever. Don't bring them into the house. Start as if it was a new tower.
Otherwise, then it stays pretty clean then?
Yeah. I don't get bugs on it in the house.
Are the towers manufactured here in the area, or where will we?
Oh, they get shipped to your door, but they are made in the States, and they are held in Ontario, and then they ship to your house here. Yeah. I do. I use all of them. So there's 2 models. This is the home. It's the more compact of the 2, and it has 32 ports. So each section has 4 going up, and then your top section is these microgreens. So they're great for like little sunflowers or baby spinach, baby salad greens, or your herbs, little flowers. Sometimes I grow flowers in here like pansies and fun stuff, just for fun. The other tower, I'm wondering if there's a picture here. These tower, well, that one's taller. It's not a good example. Okay, it's the only picture I have of it. This is the flex model, but this is the flex model with extensions. So if you get this one, it's only 5 levels, just the same as this, but the top level only has the 4. So it'll grow 20, and this one grows 32 because of the extra ports. And yeah, I fill every single one. I want to make, I want every penny I can get out of it.
How do you order the like the minerals and that? Where does that come from?
Yeah, so initially it all comes in your kit. When you want to order more, same as ordering the tower, it's just through me. We bring it in, it ships right to your house. Shipping's included in the price. I'll put a plug in for Buckerfields. Their rock wool is a little bit cheaper than ordering it through the company. So yeah, you can get your rock wool locally here. That's the medium that it grows in. You can get that just at Buckerfields. Mm-hmm.
Do you use regular tap water, or should you use a different kind of water?
I have only ever used tap water. It's recommended if you can get reverse osmosis or filtered water that it's even better, or pour your water and let all the chlorine evaporate out of it. It's going to be a little bit better for your plants, but I am busy and I have never, I've been growing it in a year for this tower, and I've never done it, and I've never had issues with my plants. You do need to adjust the pH when you add the water, you add your minerals, then you check the pH. And so sometimes when you have like city water, one day it's perfect, and then the next day there's a different amount of chlorine, and it does affect it a little bit. So I know that my one friend, she used a Berkey filter, or not a Berkey, a Brita, and so she filled her whole thing, it's 13 gallons. She filled all 13 gallons of Brita, and it took her a long time. But when you're using that type of filtration, it pulls minerals out of the water. So it pulls the chlorine, but it also pulls minerals. And her pH was very difficult to adjust. So I actually find the city water is the easiest. It's easier to adjust and make sure that your pH level is proper.
And the test kit comes with
Yeah, the test kit comes with it too. And it's just like an old school system where get some water out of there and you put some drops in, and if it's the right color, you're good. And if not, what are the minerals?
What do we add to change the pH? What do you use?
Other minerals. They have like a concentrate that also comes with your kit of either lowering or hiring it with other minerals.
And how often would you have to add water?
So when it was lush like this, once a week, you would want to check your water levels. When you first start it, you don't even need to check it the first month. They're not drinking the water. And it depends on your plants. If you're growing tomatoes and peppers and it's full, you might need to have to refill that water twice a week. They're very thirsty, whereas your lettuce and herbs, they're not as thirsty.
So you can do strawberries too?
That question was, can you do strawberries? Yes. And you can do an entire tower of strawberries, and when you do that, you want to adjust the pH a little bit because the strawberries like it slightly different than the rest of the vegetables, and then you get even more lush strawberries too.
Thanks for telling about well water, that large sediment and iron. Would that interfere with the pump?
You guys did well?
We chlorinate.
You just chlorinate. You don't, okay. They're bringing in city water for theirs. I don't know, what do you think?
Well, thanks. If you get sediment in your, like around your taps, typically from what you have in your well, the pump is gonna face the same thing. And you would end up cleaning a bit more often. But pumps are not super expensive either.
Yeah. So for anyone over here who couldn't hear that, if you have a well and it leaves that sediment like in your bathtub and around your faucets, that's going to happen within here as well. So you probably could use it. You're going to be cleaning more often, but it might be easier if you can bring water in from a friend's house in the town with city water.
How do you clean it?
How do you clean? That's a great question. Once a week, this is my routine. Once a week, I kind of check my water levels. The other thing that I do is they recommend cleaning your pump out, which is like down here, a little pump. Or what you can do to save yourself time, once a week I reach inside and I pull out their root systems. The plants still continue to grow perfectly fine. It doesn't damage them. They've got a lot of roots in there. Like the roots can be coming all the way from the top. So I just rip out the bottom part of the root. That way it's not getting in the pump. I'm not having to clean that out. And yeah, I just do that. I try to do it once a week, but I don't. It's usually every second week. If you don't do that, you'll have to clean your pump at least once a month, and it's just, you pull it out of the bottom, open it up, and kind of just like scrub roots out of it. And that's it. You will find that there's a little bit of water that kind of like gets out and evaporates on here, and so the crystals from the minerals that we put in, you get little like crystals growing here. And it's normal. You just wipe it with a cloth, like a damp cloth, wipe that off to make your tower look pretty. If you don't care, then you don't have to. It's just an aesthetic thing. And then every 6 months, this is the hardest part, you just disassemble it, put it in your bathtub with a little bit of citric acid, which comes from a health food store, and it's totally safe. Let it soak overnight. This stuff just basically wipes right off of it, because the inside gets a little grungy. So just wipe all that off, rebuild it, and put new plants in, or your old ones. So that's what we do every 6 months. So it's, if you do want to put it outside during the summer, it's a great time to do it at the beginning of like spring and the end of summer as you're going to bring it back in. Great question.
So how long do you...
Best atmosphere to have that.
It depends what you want to grow. So if I want to grow a lot of tomatoes and peppers and lettuce and, well, maybe not lettuce as much, but those plants that love the summer heat, having it in the warmest room in your house is probably the best place. If you want to grow cauliflower and broccoli, because I remember this summer when I went to go buy broccoli and it was $18.99 a pound. And it was cauliflower, sorry. And I said, I am not buying this, and I put it back. I found myself so many times this summer and over the winter putting cauliflower and broccoli back on the shelf at the grocery store because I said, I want this, that's not in my family's budget for food. So I thought, why don't I just grow it on a tower? So they really like a cold temperature. So I've gotten one cauliflower and one broccoli head off of it, so I can say I have done it, it will do it, but it definitely likes those colder temperatures. So we have a side room where it's not insulated and it's cold. I'll be growing all of that kind of stuff, those cold, crispy things, like spinach. Like my spinach has gone to seed because it's just been too hot. So that kind of stuff is better in the cold room. But the best place for it is in your kitchen or as close to your kitchen as you can. And the reason for that is the more you see it, the more you're going to eat it. And it's true. We have one tower where I can see it from my kitchen, and we have another tower in the kids' playroom where it's not in my sight every day. And I definitely pull off of the one that I'm seeing every single day. And the other one, I kind of forget about it, and I go in there and it looks like a jungle. So yeah, as close as you can get it to the kitchen, that means you're going to be eating more produce.
What's the life expectancy, or are you just looking at the life expectancy of the pump? Really? Or the light?
I have friends who have had theirs for 8 years already.
Okay.
Yeah, if a light gets damaged, you can replace the light. The pump is somewhere around 5 years, but the unit itself is many, many, many years.
Right. And
Yeah.
what are the costs of the lights like that?
Yeah, so the tower itself is $870 with the pump and the kits and everything. The light is an add-on for $416, and so that's how we get the total of $1440. So yeah, do expect that if you want to have this for your life, at some point you will have to replace the lights, you will have to replace the pump, but yeah, you're getting many years worth of use out of it.
And then minerals, the
Yeah.
cost of minerals against your cost. How
Yeah,
much do you
so
use?
the minerals will last you an entire year, and it's $90 for the minerals, so like $7 a month. Do we have more questions? Thank you.
When you juice, how do you juice it? Like what do you
I love juicing. If you guys want to have some juice, if you want to taste this, just come talk to me and I'll invite you over and we can have some juice later tonight or tomorrow. My favorite juice is lemon, and I always have a little bit of lemon, a little bit of apple, a little bit of ginger, and then I kind of switch up my greens. I also like to add a cucumber and some kale and some celery. But out of that, only some of that grows on here. So now my new favorite is lettuce and lemon, a little bit of apple, a little bit of ginger. And yeah, just these lettuce juices. They're really good. We also throw a lot of the kale into our smoothies. I just grab a couple and put them in there. I cannot have gluten, so I have to have gluten-free buns, which always have a lot of weird ingredients in them. And I don't really like lettuce wraps. Like if you go into the restaurant and get a lettuce wrap and it's not the most appealing thing. This particular variety has become my new favorite thing for hamburgers. It's just called a mild blend. It's got these red little specks on it. It comes with your kit, and it is amazing to wrap your little hamburgers in, and I love it so much. And we'll throw that into smoothies too, or on different things. I also love kale chips. I've turned my cast iron frying pan on a really low temperature, add a little bit of oil. I just rip these off and then kind of just rip it into shreds, toss it in the oil and add some salt to it, and then just let it cook until it almost looks burnt, and it's like a chip. It's really, really good. So I find that we eat a ton now because I don't want things to go to waste. So it's like forcing me to be eating a lot more greens all of the time. And yeah, so that's how I juice. And a bit more.
So you could definitely juice and freeze and add cheese, spaghetti sauce,
Yeah.
soup and
Yeah.
stew, and
Yeah.
that's how I think I would.
And like the basil too, you get quite a bit of basil. And what we had here was 2 stalks, I don't know the word for it, but 2 stems of basil from 2 seeds. You can plant 6 basils per pod. So you can get a lot of basil, plant 4 ports with it. You're now 4 times 6 is 24. 24 basil plants, so you're getting a lot of pesto. And you can, batch that and freeze it or can it.
maybe get some cards and some
Yeah, if you want some more information, I'll finish up here for the official part of it. I've got brochures that just kind of talk about the main benefits of it. And then this is a price list, so and just more information about it. You're welcome to come grab that. And if you want some of these, like I said, there's lots of herbs in here. You're also welcome to come pick off of the tower, come taste it. And I'll be around for a little while. And then after this, I'll be heading back to the booth in the main arena, and you can check out the other larger tower as well. It's got an extension in it, so it's a lot taller, and it has the tomato cage as well, so you can see what that looks like. Thank you everyone for coming. I was very excited to be here. Thank you for hearing it and all your amazing questions that you had.